fact that I was way huger than you on the screen there. I'm really zoomed in, which is awesome.
I lowered
anyway,
my, camera. I'll be a little bit taller, but it's cheating for me. I'm never that.
You're tall. a little boy. I was a big juicy boy.
Yeah, I try to be a tall boy when I can. Cheated, took some growth hormones. Now here I am, 5'8". At least that's what it says on my license. So we're good. It's a lot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of short, Boxy playing on this clockwork. Looks like he's going to be
30 seconds
playing in the 4 position, running right into all of them.
Yeah, that's running right into the entire side of Nigma, but all of a sudden Miracle takes a lot of damage, and he needs to be careful chasing after Boxy. They've soloed out GH. They've got 4 heroes chasing GH and getting that first blood.
What a Chad. What a Chad. Runs into all 5 and just casually walks it off. That windlace, man. That's a value windlace right there, bro.
Never doubt the extra 20 movement speed.
No, that's good stuff. Oh, yeah, we got a replay of this.
Oh, yeah. Look at this.
The balls on this guy. Oh, my God.
And then
5 heroes hitting
away.
him. Oh, just walks away, just casually. They're just slowly chasing him.
That's the kind of
Very
confidence
nice.
I wish I had, because that is by far so much confidence to just walk into the team like that.
Yeah, that was cool. You love to see that.
Oh, 100%. I love these clashes.
What's our lanes?
Mid?
Every game.
Wait.
Every game now. Yeah, mid Void does very well versus the Bat Rider. At least in a side lane, this doesn't feel that great for a Bat Rider. And I couldn't imagine that mid is that much better, because I feel like a side lane is good for usually better for the Bat Rider, because you can chase people down, right? So you can like wait for the time dilation to fall off and then maybe kill the Void. But mid, Void is he's not gonna struggle at all. The question is, like, can Liquid deal with the PL, I think, because the Bat Rider gets pretty adequately dealt with by this hero, as well as Io's pretty nice against Bat Rider to deal with the lassos. Bats don't really go for blink daggers that much these days, so it's not really about, lassoing and force staffing like before the person can like relocate out. Relocating from the bat lasso is pretty easy. No.
What's the game plan for killing off Miracle on this Phantom Lancer? Is it the same the whole way through, where it's just like chrono, like that's what we need to kill this Phantom Lancer, or are there other ways of dealing with this Phantom Lancer that Liquid have as options?
Honestly, Razor, I know if you looked on Dota Buff, like Razor probably has a pretty bad win rate against PL, but it is one of those things where if Razor's having like a decent game, you can link up the PL and you have enough move speed that you can actually chase him down and continue the link and know which one the real one is. So it's not like Liquid has absolutely nothing, but it is riding on Matumba Man not being like crazy far behind. If he's crazy far behind and Miracle is huge, then yeah, like PL just runs free with this game. But IO Razor, I mean, I feel like that's pretty hard to fall behind on. You just farm so damn quickly.
Used to see IO Sven be a pretty quick farming duo, using that relocate to get to different lanes and farming, of course, with Sven's cleave. So is that similar here, where you're going to be able to keep up with a Razor? You've got obviously Plasma Field, you'll be moving around the map. I don't really think it's the same idea where you're just using the relocate to move from lane to lane to buff your farm, but what are the ways that Matu can kind of keep up with PL?
I feel like the thought process behind the Razor IO here is like, obviously you have the synergy of, giving ridiculous move speed between the IO and the Razor, but usually when a Razor runs at somewhere on the map, you have to run away from him because he'll just outfarm anybody passively. So it's either like you run at him and you fight a Razor, or you run away from him. And so if you have an IO and Razor runs somewhere, then people run away and they run to the opposite side of the map where the 3 heroes you're gonna have are gonna be there, and then the IO relocates. I think that's the idea here, is that it like, you have simultaneously this hero that the enemy team wants to run away from and not be anywhere near, and then a hero that can relocate him elsewhere. It really like covers the entire map. At least for like, that is true for the, like mid game. Obviously in the late game, it's kind of just 5-man central for everybody, even with an IO. But for the mid game, like, that is going to give you a lot of farm. So it's kind of like you're limiting the enemy farm as opposed to farming a lot yourself, like with the Sven.
So I keep asking you questions on how Liquid can win this game and how they can do well towards the mid game. What about Nigma? Like, what's their ideal game plan going through this game? Is it more strictly focused on Miracle on the Phantom Lancer? Because you do have options in obviously the Bat Rider, and we've seen offlane DK kind of do its thing. So I feel like not all the weight is on Miracle if lanes go adequately.
Yeah, that's true. On the mid lane, actually, Arman is getting dove here. He got time dilated, but level 3 time dilation, actually, by the way. Mickey is fully maxing that out to hard counter this bat. But like you said, it's not just on the PL. Other than the Faceless Void, I think this is a pretty decent Bat Rider game. Like, he destroys Razor, destroys Visage, because you do so much damage through the armor. And you know, like an IO can relocate save through the lasso, but an IO can't out heal a Bat Rider sticky napalm. You know, 3 or 4 sticky napalm charges. Like, you're never gonna out heal through that. So it's really just the Void that counters the Bat Rider. So RMN can definitely carry this game if he gets to that BKB without, you know, having lost the game already.
And that's where we've seen Nigma kind of perform their best when RMN has solid games. And I kind of compare this to that little time frame that LGD was playing with Zhao 8 over mid when they didn't have nothing to say. And the game plan, at least with LGD, what it felt like was they were just Zhao 8. I think they were playing lane lost as a default. As long as he kept it close, that was okay. It feels like it's a little bit different here. Like, RMN has certainly had pretty amazing performances mid. They're just far and few in between to really make it as stable. So I do feel the similarities, and I'm very interested to see how this Bat Rider plays towards the mid game and how much they can rely on RMN.
Yeah, I feel that too. Like, in this game, I think he's doing fantastic for, you know, being against a lane counter. Bat Rider also just, like, generally is not that good of a laner anymore. Like, ever since the original nerfs where they made basically all of his abilities complete dog trash at level 1, like, the hero needs a lot of levels, so he usually loses lanes. Like, I feel like they are doing what you said. Like, they're picking him stuff that can always, like, kind of go even in lanes or be okay with just getting XP. Like, that's why he's a lot of these offlaners. You know, they're these XP dependent heroes.
We were seeing that when Zhao did it, he was playing a lot of Pangolier over mid, just get that level 6, use the Rolling Thunder to your ability, and it was more on the offlaner to get
okay.
As
did you see that? Did you see the Tranquil Boots drop? He dropped the Tranquil Boots twice between auto attacks, and it actually kept him alive there. Huh. That was cool. That was cool. That usually doesn't... Well, that was very risky. If he gets hit by a Caudal Blast and his Tranquil Boots are still on the ground, that is going to be rough. Yeah, that was cool though. Sorry, I was distracted by that. I was just like one of those.
Oh no, that's fine. I get
4 plays.
I love the little plays like that. I get distracted by, like, efficient stacking. I'm big on that. As Zai getting run down by 3 heroes, Kuroki, RMN, and Miracle over here to get this kill onto Zai. So slowing down this this Visage, which see Zai play that. I know in the past I've seen Faith Beyond play that, and you can really output quite a bit of damage in the mid game. GH now getting chased, static link onto the Caudal, but they don't quite have the damage, and with the Dragon Tail, GH is able to get behind the tier 2 tower. So let's see it
here
again.
we go. Yeah, this is...
Oh. And again.
Like, look at that. That legitimately saved him. The little bit of regen. That's... Dude, it's hard to find, like, clips of that for videos. Like, I put that tip in a video, and it's like I watch 100 replays, and I can't find a single one where somebody actually does that, because it's just so hard.
Well, I mean, it's either you pull it off like that, or you drop your Yules, and it's the other thing, right?
Yeah. I lost a Vanguard on Axe the other day, dropping it to Juan.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Dude, Arman, he's got Lasso. He's doing so much work in the side lanes.
Onto Matumba Man, but they do have the tether, and Senya trying to save Matumba Man, and now Mickey comes over with the time dilation, has the chrono on a 2. They have brought over GH, so 3 heroes here, and Mickey, well, his chrono doesn't net him a kill just yet. RMN on the run finally dies to Mickey, and Senya kind of low, but he's still tethered with the cogs around mind control. This is going really well with Boxy having the double damage. Time dilation once again. GH also hit by that time dilation, so they're thinking about diving the tier 1 towers. They've got this tether, the first hit bash, looking for one more right click, and it will be a double kill and 3 dead on the side of Nigma. So really well done there by Liquid. The chrono didn't exactly get them everything, but it was certainly enough to as you see, get 3 kills, and they want even more. Mickey going to the top lane. They look to get this kill with Zai. So Soul Assumption thrown out. Hiroki falls to this Visage, and it's 4 kills around the map.
Yeah, Mickey's completely hard countering this, or completely hard carrying this game right now. This to me looks like a classic Batrider game where the Bat is just going to all of the side lanes and snowballing and becoming a massive problem. Like, you see this a lot. After this kill, usually the Batrider's just untouchable. But Mickey coming in and realizing that, like, he's the guy that counters Batrider and that he needs to follow him around the map. It's really good that Liquid recognizes this and they bring everybody here for this rotation. Like, this was about to be a disaster for Liquid. Batrider was about to run over this game. And then not only that, but Mickey, he shows up to this by walking there and just anticipating the gank. And then he heads up top to the counterplay that Nigma was trying to make, because they're like, oh, everybody on Liquid is bot, so let's go on Zai here. And so he actually rotates to both and kind of salvages the game. I know it's like, obviously they've had a gold lead this entire time, but I'm telling you, man, this is how Batrider plays. Like, what it was looking like for RMN was that he was going to run away with the game. That's just how Batrider works. It's a super snowbally hero.
Yeah, Tusk may be the one who has the snowball ability, but it's certainly, you know, Batrider can get out of control really quickly if you don't keep an eye on him. And
oh yeah,
and also that Chrono was well placed too. Like, I could definitely see other Void players just throwing the Chrono, and all of a sudden it locks in Insania as well, so he doesn't have that opportunity to kind of back up, heal up, get the tether once again, and maybe that fight doesn't go as well. But that was a perfectly placed Chrono to throw not only RMN in that, but have the other hero on the edge of the Chrono where it didn't affect the IO. So it's just, it feels like little things like that too that are really helping Liquid. And then they take the tier 1 tower because Zai survives top and he's able to push with these familiars. It's definitely little things coming together for Liquid, and that's not to say that Nigma are in a bad spot. They're only down 2,000 gold at the moment, and I think Miracle's in a decent spot right now, but he is being beat so far by Mickey by about 1,200 gold if you want to go 1-to-1 on that.
Yeah, Mickey is definitely making this Void look worth picking. Like, I think when you pick your mid laner a weird hero like this to counter pick, it's one of those things that can go horribly wrong, where you just have this mid Void and it, you know, you're a carry on the mid lane, you don't have that much damage, you're not that great with runes. Like, there's a lot of differences between this and a regular mid laner. As actually RMN is getting caught out by Boxy.
Yeah,
oh,
hook
boy.
shot landed, and once you get hit by the hook shot, you've got the battery assault. The follow-up was there with the Soul Assumption. They get a kill on RMN, and that will slow down his game. As much as Batrider can snowball, he can also fall off a cliff real hard too. Like, this hero needs to teeter on the edge all the time. Miracle? Okay, does have Chronosphere if he wants to use it, but doesn't have anybody there with him, and there's no tier 1 to TP to.
Yeah, not quite enough damage to deal with that, and I'm actually... Mickey is going for Aghanim Scepter first.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's going to go for some, like, Mjolnir or, I don't know, maybe Battle Fury if he's feeling even cheekier, plus Aghanim Scepter build, and that's the way of dealing with the PL illusions. And it's just not so common of a Void build these days that I didn't think about it, but that is definitely a good, decent counter to the PL. Like, when that was the build, like, Void was actually a PL counter. So, and with the game that Mickey's having, he can afford to build greedy type carry items like this. I mean, he's top net worth when his actual carry has an IO with him, which is supposed to amplify your farm. That's how good of a game Mickey is having.
It's 3-0-3
1v5ing.
Yeah, he's really having a great game, and I think that, of course, I've already said this phrase once, but it teetered on the edge of that fight over bottom where they were able to get the Chrono and turn that around. Like you said, I mean, that is a foretelling fight that could end up... it seems like a small fight, but that fight could change the feel of the game completely. It goes from RMN snowballing to Mickey having an open game and getting an axe first.
Yeah, I mean, like, you see RMN die there, and because of that, doesn't get his boots of travel, which he was about to have. He still doesn't have them. And then Boxy, like, almost solo kills him, and he's hooking him again.
So he's just short of the boots of travel. Hookshot comes in, RMN on the run. He just wants to survive so he can purchase these boots of travel. And he will.
Good patience from Mickey. If he jumps in there and Chronos, Kuro was sitting right there, ready with the Fiend's Grip, so... that's actually very good.
In trouble. Bottom lane, Zai's just going after him, and they relocate to get this kill. So Mind Control by himself, he'll be caught out for that. He's going for the Blink Dagger because they want to have that initiation with the Elder Dragon form, Blink Dragon Tail, and Miracle's finished off the Diffusal, now going for the Manta. So there is item progression here for Nigma, and they're going to get a couple of items with the Boost Travel, the Diffusal, as well as the Blink Dagger, where they're not down so much, where I think they honestly could find themselves a fight if they work with like the Fiend's Grip as well. It just depends on the map movement. I'm trying to see where they're looking to set up.
This is the timing though, you know? Like if they don't successfully take a bunch of kills on the next fight with these 3 items, I don't think this game gets any easier for them.
Right.
Especially with the cool build that Mickey is going. I don't think they're going to be able to bring this back without some absolute, you know, no pun intended, but miracle. With that being said, like this timing is a really strong one. So it's not like it's asking a lot to like, oh, go do something with these 3 incredibly powerful items. It's like this is what they're playing for, right? So it's not abnormal. Although if there's a Roshan, that makes the timing a lot harder to hit because you have to kill a guy twice.
Yeah. And it looks like it's going to be that way. There is nobody coming over from the side of Nigma, and this Roche is going to be free for Liquid.
Great call from Liquid.
Yeah. Because, like you said, you probably expect that timing, right? Like, you feel it coming from Nigma, you know the items they're building, and you're getting a grasp of feeling like this is the mid-game, and if they want to go for us, they're going to have to use Fiend's Grip or Lasso, and if we have 2 lives, it maybe feels like we have nullified that.
Very hard to orchestrate where you're actually killing these heroes. Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
Mickey needing to die twice means he needs to basically get maybe DK stunned and killed with a lucky DK stun, and then into the Fiend's Grip.
Now he's got Ags though. Makes everything way tougher.
I mean, there are answers for Enigma though. Like they do have. If it was just the lasso or just the Fiend's Grip, it would be a little bit harder. But they, you know, if they Fiend's Grip him, they can lasso him afterwards. RMN, man, I do like how RMN is playing here, where he's cutting creep waves, playing on the enemy side. It got him killed one time, but it's something that's making a lot of space for his team. It's getting good wards down, too. I think they may have seen that smoke. Oh, man, it was just out of the ward vision that he placed.
Time walk. Trying to find RMN. They'll follow the breadcrumbs all the way, and Chrono used... Oh, the sound went off. I don't know if... Maybe I'm delusional, but I swear I heard the TP sound. And they still got the kill on RMN.
That was very close. That was very close. He wanted to hold the haste rune. He had a haste, so he could have gotten away there if he wanted, but
Mind Control.
Such a value rune on Batrider.
Mind Control getting chased by Boxy. Boxy by himself. Now finally getting some help from Insania as well as Matumba Man as they come in with the relocate. Miracle trying to get a kill here, but Boxy again is surviving with just a minuscule amount of health. They've got the Familiar down on a Miracle. Miracle trying to run. Mickey's here. He doesn't have a Chronosphere. They'll get the Nightmare, give Miracle some space. And now Kuroki in some trouble. They have the lasso. That lands onto the Razor. He's pulled out by himself. Matumba Man under the tower. The Time Walk in. That's with the Ags. But they still get the kill on a Matumba Man. They've taken out one apiece. And the Aegis is gone. So now maybe they'll look to get a kill on a Mickey. It's 4 heroes around this Faceless Void with no Chronosphere. There's the Time Walk out, but it's not far enough away from these heroes just yet. They've got the Diffusal once again. They'll get the kill on a Mickey. And Miracle, he looked to be in a lot of trouble, and he survives. And not only does he survive, but he gets a double kill, and that is a great turnaround from Nigma.
Yeah, Chakra Magic plus the PL looking very strong in that fight. He basically had 100% uptime on the Doppelganger. GH was just constantly pumping him with mana, and it made him insanely difficult to kill.
They're going back in, though. They want to go for Miracle. They've got the Battery Assault. Boxy with the Cogs. That blocks out Mind Control, keeping Miracle soloed out. And when you're soloed out as the Phantom Lancer, you're very killable. And Boxy will get credit for that kill, knowing that a lot of these abilities on the side of Nigma are on cooldown. They're going to go and fight again. They want to go after GH. Blinding Light thrown out, but Matumba Man ends on the other side of the tower, and GH will just run because his death is inevitable. And they will take out 2.
That seemed to me like a bit of a...
They're relocating. They want to now go for RMN. They've come over. They're going all the way across the map. Mind Control, he'll come through and try and save his Batrider with the Blink as well as the Dragon Tail, but RMN still falls. Kuroki's in too far, and he'll die as well. So 4 kills around the map Liquid just lost the fight. What's going on?
That would
everywhere.
That just snowballed from bot. Like, basically what happened is that Nigma, they didn't think that Liquid had all of their heroes back to that bot area again, which I can understand because it's kind of a bad place to play in general. It's far away from the Roche pit. It's far away from the enemy towers, the enemy base.
The bloodbath kind of continuing. Boxy finally falls. Not going to survive 4v1 this time. But Chrono on a 3. Nikkei's got himself a good setup for the rest of the team. They've got the static link to start this one off. Miracle goes with the doppelganger, trying to get away from the side of Liquid. They'll end up losing GH. As RMN will throw forward that flame break, gets the lasso on the Zai, but they have the tether. They're trying to keep alive this Visage. Miracle taking a lot of damage, but finally Kuroki with the brains have to finish off the Visage. Zai goes down. Now, Fireball. Ooh, Fiend's Grip out on Mutumba Man, but that gets stopped. Mikkei's in onto Kuroki, trying to get the kill onto the Bane as they'll continue to chase. They've got the Dragon Tail as well as Miracle going after Mutumba Man. They've lost Kuroki, but they get the kill onto the Razor. They'll take out Insania. Now Mikkei up against RMN as well as Mind Control as Miracle is focusing his attention on a Boxy, but RMN will get focused down by the Faceless Void. The Time Walk onto the high ground, Doppelganger to follow him, and Miracle wants this, but the Familiar Stun. It will probably help Mikkei survive, but then he goes back in. Blink, Dragon Tail, haste on the ground. Zai's Familiar looking to maybe scoop this one up, but Miracle's the one who gets it, and Mind Control going back in might have cost him his life. It will. Mind Control goes down to Mikkei, and now the cogs are down. Miracle not a lot of health to work with. The Time Walk with the Axe bashes him up. They've got the Time Dilation, and still Boxy survives, and Miracle will fall.
Oh my god, it doesn't end.
H getting the kill on
Just
Boxy.
relax.
And
just relax, boys. Oh my god.
I don't know if you've ever seen
boy.
the State Farm commercial where he's got the fishing rod out and he's like, oh, you're gonna have to be quicker than that. That was the whole thing there with Mikkei. As he time walks in, time walks out, hiding around the trees. Oh, blink for me? Okay, I've got help. That's fine. You're gonna have to be quicker than that to kill me.
And he's building a Radiance. So he did have a Maelstrom queued up, but he's going for, he's realizing like exactly what you said. He's just staying alive in these fights. So he's going to do a lot of damage with the Radiance.
Oh, RMN getting soloed here, and well, at the end, typical carry mentality coming in to try and swipe that kill away with the relocate. Unneeded though, but they still get the kill on the RMN. And he's now sitting at 1-6-6, so his game certainly got a lot tougher.
Yeah, he needs that BKB real bad. Time Dilation is completely dumpstering him. So is Boxy on the Clockwork, even though, you know, you can Firefly out of the cogs. Like, he's still just sitting on him with the Battery Assault and such a pain. Visit Birds are a pain as well.
Familiar's level 2, and they really just output so much damage.
Crazy that we just had a 7-minute fight or something like that, and then now they're just so chill. They're just evasive maneuvers. Now Nigma doesn't want to fight. It's like, all right, guys.
We want the Manta, we want the Heart. Oh, hook shot missing. Time Walk, Time Dilation, GH.
He even stops to shovel. That's a Chad move right there.
I've got time, right?
Yeah, he's good, man. He's got a horse and a force. So, you know, he's good.
Like the rhymes.
Yeah. Let's see, how close are we to BKB on RMN? Still not really close. I mean, when the map gets smaller like this, you, and by smaller, I just mean you feel less safe farming, you know, jungle camps away from your team. You feel like you need to be closer. Like, oftentimes, it's the offlaner that stops getting the farm. As we've seen from this team with RMN as a stand-in, they've got 2 offlaners, basically. So in this game, it's actually him that's losing out on the farm. So his BKB timing is just getting more and more delayed as the game progresses.
Yeah, his farm is kind of falling off really hard.
Yeah.
I think maybe Boxy understanding where RMN might be as he's drawing all over the map.
Circling Roche, yep, that will be up in 44 seconds. We are at the point where that's kind of the objective for both teams for the rest of the game.
And they have Chrono to work with. Like, they can pretty securely take that Roche. Pickoffs, obviously. Benefits. But that's
and Rocket Flare.
Trying to make it easier.
Oh, man. RMN, he's... Oh, if he died right before. Kuro, great positioning. Yeah, amazing positioning. I mean, you know he knows. You know he knows, right? It's like, this is right before Roshan respawns too. He has buyback. He'll be up by the time. Like, that's just great 5-position play, standing in that smoke there. If Armament dies right before he gets his BKB, it's a complete disaster. And now he's on the top lane. He can actually farm his BKB. He's got it.
So that'll be important into these next fights to try and survive. And maybe give them, if they can kill 1 or 2 of these heroes on Liquid, maybe give them a spot to just go in and
BK's bot.
grab Roche.
He saw Miracle on the lane ward.
And there's the Boots of Travel. They're going to relocate for this as well. They'll go to the Chrono and actually locks up the 3 of them. That's a bit of an issue. They'll come around with the BKBs, popped around the horn. They'll go after Insania. They've got the Fiend's Grip now on a Mickey. Miracle trying to get the kill here out onto the IO first, but the time walk in, Mickey destroys Kuroki. Rips him to shreds with that Ags, and they're going to try and chase Miracle. Got 3 heroes chasing him forward, and I'll go to the Manta. There's the familiar hook shot follow. Miracle dead, and they've got what they came for. Kuroki being the +1 on that. A little bit, you know, shaky when he hit the Chrono on both Matumba Man as well as Insania, but
yeah, I mean, Miracle succeeds with his illusion bait play, which was very nice. Mickey goes on the wrong hero and just wastes all of his time, gets gripped. So this almost goes very well for Team Nigma, but I think the idea of catching Miracle out there, like just doing that and seeing him on the lane ward is enough to make that a good play. Even with the Chronosphere being baited out by the Miracle illusion play, it's still the catch out is too far away from the Nigma base for other heroes to come in and save in time. Like, there just wasn't damage there to use that Chronosphere, the Miracle play, you know? If they had all of their heroes there for that, it would have been a really good play for Nigma. But Mickey, like, he's just too on point with his positioning. Map positioning, that is. Obviously, with positioning of the Chrono, he hit the wrong illusion, but it just didn't matter.
Now they've got themselves an Aegis off of that. And kept Miracle dead long enough where they felt confident to go in, time walk out. He just picked up that shard from that second Roche as well as the Aegis. Kuroki's got to be a little bit careful on where he stands. His positioning now in these fights is just like, can I even get a full-time Fiend's Grip off? It's on cooldown for another 16 seconds, but there's so many things that you have to be aware of. The time walk with the Ags being one of them, and then the hook shot the other. And then familiar.
I just watched, oh,
box shot in. Now he's nightmared. Kuroki on the run. Time walk hits both Armament as well as Kuroki. They'll go, though, with the Dragon Tail, trying to get the kill on a Boxy. They've got the lasso on a Matumba Man. The time walk in, and now out hitting Kuroki and killing off the Bane, but they didn't get Matumba Man into the base. The Flame Break pushes him back into the Fireball. They've taken the top set of racks. Miracle unable to find a entry point.
Boxy survived at 10% HP. Again. Shocking. Very nice from Insania, though. Like, I like that Insania, in a fight like that, you're always going to be debated to tether your core, like especially your Razor, because he gets lassoed. But Insania basically realized that his Razor could survive on his own, and that if he tethers Boxy, he can keep both of them alive, which was really awesome. Awesome wisp play. I mean, pretty flashy for a hero that just kind of tethers to somebody. That's about as flashy as it gets.
Armin doesn't have BKB available for 24 more seconds. He's kind of staying on the cliff edge of the base. He'll survive. Time dilation is just such a nuisance. Gosh,
it is. By the way, the time dilation on GH, I saw he had 6 stacks of it on him. Time dilation, very weird counter to the Coddle, because for whatever reason, Illuminate counts as 2 spells. So there's a cooldown on it, but then also I think the channel on it has a cooldown as well. So for some reason, if you've used Illuminate, time dilation affects you twice. It's beyond me why that works. So it really destroys a Coddle. Almost like he's an Invoker and he's used like all of his spells.
Well, I guess with that, it's time to play Dota players' favorite game, bug or intended. Is that a bug or is it intended? Meanwhile,
yes.
Bottom, Miracle. With the hook shot, and the cogs are down. Miracle looking very dead here. He'll try to run with the doppelganger, but Boxy with the flare will clean him up. So Miracle dead for 60 seconds, and now a big opportunity for Liquid to take even more of the Nigma base.
By the way, that's the interaction that I was talking about, like, way early on in the game about the Razor versus PL matchup. It's one of those things where, like, it seems like it's very PL favored, but then in practice, you see a lot of the time that PL can't jump far enough to break the static link, so Razor just sees who the real target is. It's like the Wind Ranger versus PL matchup where you focus fire the real PL.
They'll look, try to make their way up onto the high ground once again. And by try, I mean they'll just go for it. They can time walk in, they can time walk out, hook shot in as well. So Boxy with the cogs pushing RMN right into the side of Liquid, and it's an easy kill onto the Bat Rider as they take the tier 3 over mid. And time dilation and the time walk, everything there for them to get both kills. Kuroki, GH, Chrono down. I mean, it all works out. 3 buybacks already used. They'll try to get the kill into Insania. Maybe they'll focus up this IO, but they've got the lasso out on Azai. Miracle, not sure who he wants to attack just yet, but they'll finish off Insania. They'll get the Wisp out of the fight, but they've lost Kuroki again before his buyback symbol was even gone. Zai falling without buyback. They still have the Aegis on Mickey, so maybe they'll chase, but it's 2 lives they have to rip through. Mind Control looking to maybe get a stun here, but the time walk in, time walk out is just so much to deal with. Time walk, hook shot, and the bash is coming through thanks to the Ags. They're now forced to run. They've bought back on the IO. They're getting the damage out on the GH as well as Mind Control. They found Miracle, but there's no Miracle that's going to save Miracle. GH will fall. These heroes don't have buyback. Miracle has his, but
what's it gonna do?
Not looking like,
what's it gonna do? Yeah. You have to hope that somehow Mickey ends up in the fountain and dies twice. With no Bat Rider available to lasso him into there. Like, he disconnects. Mind Control's going for it, though. He's gonna try to take the Aegis.
Blink, Dragon Tail, buyback coming out, and that was as the Aegis expired. The timing was, but the damage is not.
Insania just right there with the Holy Lock and the mech play. I like the attempt though. I mean that was pretty cool. I didn't even notice that the Aegis was about to despawn. That's really smart.
He was right on it.
Yeah, that's the one play that they can make to keep Liquid out of their base. So Mind Control actually kind of keeps the game alive with that because he takes away the Aegis regeneration, which would have had Mickey at full HP and they could be throning right now. But they've backed out. Mickey's healed up now at this point. But all of Nigma, they've respawned, so not so easy to push the throne.
Yeah, but the cliff gets steeper for Nigma to bring this one back.
It does. It's looking like Everest at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully with a lot less trash at the top.
And corpses, frozen corpses as well.
Yeah, I guess that too.
Don't call them trash, V-Cup. That's very rude.
I wasn't talking about. Whoa. Don't put words in my mouth. Come on.
So what's the timing? What's Liquid waiting for? I mean, I think they could probably just go throne with the chrono cooldown. I guess they're just getting the map good, pushing everything in. I don't think they need to wait for Aegis. Maybe just look for a pickoff or something, because you know Nigma, they're gonna get impatient. Like, you can't just sit in your base. Any good team knows that, and you see RMN already is trying to get out and cut waves, which is the right thing to do.
You've kind of seen that from Nigma, right? When they're on their heels, they'll almost force themselves out of the base. They know that.
Yeah, they don't just sit in base.
Yeah.
This team does not sit in base, and it's something that's looked incredibly good in the past. But at other times, it also looks like, you know, a game that they could have held out. They just kind of walk out of base, fight, and then quote-unquote throw. But I do think it's the correct play. Like, when it comes to strategic stuff, like, obviously a Kuro team, you know, this is Nigma, like, they're on point with that. They're playing with a stand-in. So maybe there's some issues with the draft. But strategy, like, that's not an issue with this team.
Hook shot misses, time walk in. He's got the chrono, no more double damage, so at least they're safe from that. But it's the slow siege from Liquid looking for the right opportunity. And only 15 seconds left until Hookshot is back up again. They throw Rocket Flare over to Roche with 24 seconds remaining on it.
You see Insania drawing on the map. He's like, this is where we're farming.
This is
if I could draw an entire square, I would. But I'm too busy being tethered. But that was an attempt at a square.
It looks like an attempt at it hard, honestly. Kind of had that in-scene.
Oh, look at the little arrow drawn by Mickey. He's like, all right, Zai, you're useless. We don't need you, buddy. Go farm this. Nobody's farming that. That's free farm, bud. And Zai's like, all right, okay.
I'll take it.
I feel like usually we see Zai with a much more profound impact than in this game, but he just hasn't had to do anything. There was
the best though.
There was a couple of bird stuns in there, you know. That was all. Those were cool, but he's kind of just chilling. He's an aura guy. That's a contribution.
AC, Vlad's, Boots of Bearing.
No Wraith Pact, though. Did just get buffed and still no Wraith Pact. Holy shit, Armen is there. Armen sees Zai, bro. Or did they? I don't know if they saw each other, but they walked right past each other.
The courier is going to spot Armen, or well, Armen's going to grab a nice... Oh, no, no, he's not.
No. Oh,
boy.
no.
Oh, boy.
He's too pathetic. He can't even kill a donkey. Oh, no. My boy.
Can't kill the throw courier. Hookshot was rough. Like just a second late. If he stayed to kill that courier, he would have probably died. I almost want to say solo to Boxy. Roshan's out.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm always more excited when it's Ag's Blessing, but it is Refresher Shard.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with that. Unless you have like a Tidehunter. I mean, I suppose Mickey having a double chrono sounds pretty decent.
You want to know what it is? We just had that patch where Refresher Orb was being built on everybody. So like Refresher Shard's just like, oh, they're refreshing again. And I'm kind of on that mindset where it's like, I'll just take Ags. That's cool.
I mean, I do still feel like we see it a lot. Like Matumba, for example, you know, he's got 2 in his inventory now. And, you know, it's exactly like you said. It's like, oh, he gets to refresh a 3rd time. Wow. 2 Chronos is way cooler. But Mickey, he wants his boots because he's in and out. He's all about that mobility.
Hook shot off the mark again, but that is definitely one of those spells that you could just kind of throw. It's 30 second cooldown. It's really nothing.
Super short cooldown now. It used to be a lot longer when they had the Aghanim Scepter just straight up reduce the cooldown of it, but then they changed the Ags, they gave it a shorter cooldown, so now it's like it's super spammable. Even level 1, it's not super punishing to use it.
Anything under like 70 seconds I feel like is low cooldown.
Yeah, I feel that. They've got 2 catapults, by the way, so this is a very difficult wave for Nigma to defend.
They'll try to defend. Time walk in. BKB used. Hook shot lands on a mind control. They've got the static link. There's the time walk for the chrono. It'll land. They'll kill off Kuroki. He doesn't have buyback. He's dead for 42 seconds. Miracle, though, going after Boxy as he's trying to get the kill into the clockwork, but he is surrounded. He is killed, and there's nothing Miracle can do. I mean, this was what we were thinking was inevitable, and they'll call GG. Full team wipe, losing nothing here for Liquid, and they take game 1 with ease.
Yeah, the game was over a long time ago. Really, it was going to take a lot to bring Nigma back in that game. I just don't really think they have the heroes for it. I don't see what sequence of spells they could press to really bring that back. But
yeah,
that game was mostly the Mickey show. You know, the supports also had a lot of an impact, but. It really felt like Mickey was kind of 1v5ing for the first like 15 minutes of that game. And then after that, it's like the game looks really easy for the rest of his team because he just blew the game wide open. With a weird hero too. Faceless Void mid, not something you normally see. He was 15, 1 and 18. So he was involved in almost every single kill in the game, which is insane for a Faceless Void mid.
Yeah, and it all kind of teetered off that fight bottom where they ended up getting the kill into RMN. Mickey survives and they clean up 3-0. That was a big turnaround for them, and of course he was just involved in everything. And Boxy, he's going in. He's very confident in playing that clockwork. Really no fear in his eyes when he's going up against 3, 4, maybe the whole team of heroes. But Liquid played a really good game 1, and they've got themselves a 1-0 lead so far, and we'll see if they can take the 2-0. But